You're listening to Sideline News Radio 1490 WTTB, Part 4 of our Indian River County football preview. We're here at Masters Academy with the coaches, the legendary Coach Smith and his partner in crime, Coach Yincho. Of course, we have Mike Bielecki, the wordsmith of Indian River County, and my co-host, my Robin, your Batman, Derek Muller. Coach Smith, you guys just got done with a grueling practice out there. Is it getting any hotter or any cooler?
Oh, it's getting cooler. I was thinking about needing a sweater today. It must have been every bit of down to about 93, 94 before the rain started in.
Wow, man. Now, that's the problem that everybody seems to be running into these afternoons, this summertime rain.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fact we got to play with. I know a lot of parents aren't ever happy about your kids getting out there early or staying late, but you got to make it work.
That's a fact. Now, you got to remember, too, we only had today, if you notice, we had 2 guys in shorts and 13 guys otherwise.
Well, let's jump into that. How many guys are you rostering right now?
We've got 15 guys.
15 guys.
Yeah.
Iron Man football.
Oh, don't you know?
Now, listen, going back to your days and my days and everybody else that's listening, that's how you used to play football.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you got more pads. You're more of a hybrid these days.
Yeah, well,
but, you can make it work.
we've got to. It's the only way. It's like we've got a lot of good kids. They work hard, both sides of the ball. Jonathan Vendries, I don't know if you noticed him out there today or not, but last year he wasn't much of a force. This year, both sides of the ball, he's pushing sides, so that's a good move. Nathan Martinelli and Jag Martinelli have always been strong for us, and then there's the Jeff Stave boy who does a great job for us both offensively and defensively. We just got Sweetness, Bill Ewar back in camp, and that helps us a little bit. It gives us, we've got a pretty good backfield right now lined up. We can put Stave at quarterback, Miller at full, Danny Pennell at the 4-back, and Ewar at the 2-back, and we'll come at you that way. We run a spread offense. We'll run out of deuce. We'll run out of an empty set. We'll also come at you and try to run an eye, a wing. We work hard knowing all these things because we got to find something that'll break the code so we can get through. It's just a hard way there.
Well, that's it. I mean, you've got a handful of players, but I mean, just the names that you've mentioned alone with Jeffrey Stave and Zach and the Pennell boy and the Martinelli. I mean, you've got some leaders, and that little bunch right there. Those are all leaders that I've seen and I've been around.
Yeah. Well, they're great kids, not only on the football field but off the field. One of the things guys asked me, well, what kind of summer workouts you doing? Well, I got one guy who's going to Hungary on a mission.
Yes.
Both the Pennell boys went to Bahamas. Miller was all over the state.
Stave was fishing.
Stave was fishing, but he was hunting and fishing, hunting for fish or something. No, but all of our kids are heavily involved in church programs throughout. We have a lot of kids at Vacation Bible School at several churches. Jeffrey was one of those.
Mission trips. You know, they went on the was it youth mission trip to Alabama, I guess this year, a bunch of them. So.
Well, you got quality young men there.
Oh yeah.
Basically, I mean, those are center stones that a lot of programs don't have to build from. Well, you've got a handful of them.
If you notice how we ended our practice today with a prayer,
yes,
a lot of teams will start with a prayer. We start with a prayer, and we finish with a prayer. And that's the way that you know, we do this for the glory of God.
And I'm sure Dr. Powell was intended for that. Now, this is a second-year program, correct?
Yes, sir.
And your first year, let's walk it through. That was
well, we had an unblemished record.
Well, not just that, but you're building a program.
We are.
You know, it's a tough situation.
It is. It was hard. Yeah. I got to tell you, especially when you come out of programs that have had success, and you're looking at it and you're going, "What am I doing wrong?" and then you realize, you know, the Lord has something in mind.
There you go.
And it's not always winning.
Right.
It is. You know, anybody can be a good loser, but you got to be gracious in victory also.
There you go.
And that's the big thing, and that's what we're trying to teach. I was taught by my coaches life lessons that got me to this pinnacle where I am now.
Right.
But they helped me realize what I needed to do as a man, and that's one of the things I'm trying to share with these young men, to try to help them avoid a lot of the mistakes that I made.
Right.
Because You know, a lot of people say, I just want what I deserve. I dang sure don't want what I deserve.
That's football in a nutshell. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a book titled A Season of Life, and I think
Mhm.
every season, if a coach takes that foothold and that method, I think you're doing more than winning football games. As you say, you're building young men.
And that's what, well, isn't that what it's really all about?
Yes, sir, it is.
It's you know, I hear you guys talking about the baseball games and how all the kids in the county are doing good. But if you take a look at those young men and you see the quality of young men that comes out of those programs and how they do academically, how they're involved socially with their church and in other programs around, that's what's really important.
Absolutely.
Last year, Danny Pennell's mom called us and she said, Coach, I hope you don't mind, but I kept Danny out of practice yesterday because we had to go. And I said, I do mind. And she goes, why? And I said, because you didn't let us know that you needed the help so we could come down as a team and help you load those pallets. Because that's more important. We can miss a day of practice.
Absolutely.
But it's not often you have an opportunity to help your fellow man. And that's
wonderful.
that's what I'm trying to get across. Robin's been with me every step of the way, and I think I got part of my ideas from his dad, so I know they didn't come far from him too.
Mike?
Well, let's go back to the spring game. You know, you guys went out there and you guys showed pretty well, I thought. And Coach Motto was very complimentary of your spread offense. He liked the way you guys looked. He liked some of your personnel, and I know he was thrilled to have a third team there to to kind of give some different looks.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me a little bit about what you guys learned about yourselves, and I don't know, just in general going towards the football
Going through
season.
this season? I don't know, Robin, I think we learned a lot, wouldn't you say?
We need bigger guys.
And more of them.
And more of them.
But
One of the biggest things I think that we saw during that period of time during the spring was our kids have got a lot of determination. They don't stop. They don't quit. Even with the small numbers, our kids will go all the way to the end. Are we going to play against guys that are going to be bigger and stronger than we are? We are probably every time we go out there on the field. Every one of our kids that is out there playing for us, in most cases, would not be out playing football with most other programs. They all look like they're cookie cutter, 145 pound kids, but they give us their all every time they go out there and play. And we just love our kids for it.
Yeah.
They've got a really good heart and just a lot of intestinal fortitude when it comes to going out there and playing football for us.
one of the other things too that I think we picked up from that was the need to lift, the need to work out in the gym. We had a small core group. Young Mr. Stave was one of the spearheads for that. In fact, he would come out and work out before we got there and stay and work out with his teammates just to be part of the guys that were there. Jonathan Vendry showed strong during that time too. And again, a lot of guys, Coach, I can't come today. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. Joel Fleming, Coach, I can't come, but I'm working out at home. That's fine, because he's heavily involved with the youth programs around the county, especially with our school, but around the county. And that's a big thing. It's more than just this. The way that we play is, number one is God, okay? First and foremost. Two is family and school obligations. You got to take care of those before you can do anything else. Then after that, we play football. And a lot of people say, Coach, you've lost your mind. And I think if I did it any other way, I would have lost my mind.
Right.
Because you've got to look at what's best for these young men, what's best for our program. What are we trying to do? And that's the intensity that and direction that we have taken as a staff. We've had a couple other guys come and work with us and whole bit, and they fell right into what we're doing. And that's the way it is. God is the most important thing.
Absolutely. And we've done a lot of these interviews. And Coach Mata said if we measure ourselves by wins and losses, we're not really doing anything.
No.
So I think you got both coaches coming from the type of schools you're at and the programs that you're building. What a righteous way to do it. And I don't think there's any other way to do it, to set a foundation like you're doing to build from.
Well, Coach Mata is a fine man. I've known him for a while, and his partner in crime, Lou Ferrari,
Yes,
is a
sir.
good friend of mine. I like Lou a lot. I used to work at Sebastian two doors down from Lou, and next to me on the other side was Brian Kristoforski,
Okay.
the wild man up here over the
Yeah,
chest.
JV coach, no. Oh, no, he's varsity.
That's a
He's
firing
varsity,
punch to be
yeah.
sandwiched between, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm just a calm, quiet guy, and I just sat back and just let it go. No, what was really good, well, Tony Perry was across the hall, so.
Oh, wow, there you go.
You walked in there and there was a little bit of football sometimes, I'm not sure. But I'll tell you what, I learned a lot from Tony. I coached with Tony for many years. Coach Chris and I coached together for many years. I only coached 1 year with Lou, but I've known him for a while. And
That's a
so-
season you won't forget.
Oh, no. But, one of the things that we can see, though, is looking at it and what each person brings. You know, and that's the big thing.
Right.
No, if I have questions, you know, if it's offense, I usually went, hey, Lou.
Yeah.
You know? But defensively, Chris has been a friend for years, and he's at the Freshman Learning Center this year also, so both of us are down there, and it makes it a little easier. At least I still have a few friendly faces that I know
Absolutely.
and go around, but I've got to know Coach Jankowski, and he's a fine man.
Yes, sir.
He has done a lot for us. In fact, we scored our first touchdown when we were playing Vero's freshman team last year, and he gave us the ball.
Oh, look at that.
And it's in our trophy case right now.
That's great.
That is, and you know, that's a class act. That's a class
Absolutely.
guy. And Randy Bethel, I learned a lot working for many years with Randy. One of the things that I learned with working with Randy was the fact that he said, "Coach, I want you to remember one thing. We may be the only positive male role models some of our young men see, and we've got to hold ourselves accordingly."
True statement.
It is, and I think that sets a strong tone, and that's the kind of men of character that we have coaching in Indian River County, and that, you know, I'm humbled to be included in that group. I think that they were really surprised. They were a whole lot bigger than we were,
Right.
and again, take me for granted. You know, that's all I want you to do.
Exactly.
Don't worry. Yeah, you're bigger, stronger, faster.
Yeah, we're slow, small, and skinny.
Yeah.
You know,
But we've got smart kids.
That's right. I mean, you're not gonna, scare anybody from the sidelines, but when you walk on the field, and with the way you guys are handling the program, and the way I've seen these kids light up when they take the field, I don't think anybody can take you for granted, Coach.
Well, do you remember our last game of the season last year
Yes, sir.
against Sebastian? We were under a running clock. I mean, I don't remember what the score was at that time, but if you're under a running clock, you know you're in trouble. And I've known Coach Nathaniel for a long time, and he wouldn't give me nothing I wouldn't expect him to, and he was trying to shut us, and we were trying to score. And a young man sitting right over there put it in the end zone, and that's you would have thought we scored on the last play in the last game, and you would have thought we had just won the state championship.
Right.
The way the kids and the parents came out on the field, because they were celebrating what we did. And it's just the fact that we were together as a unit like that, and the fact that we were supported by our fans and the family and Dr. Powell and Coach Brown. Just that's, you know, the kids just don't stop.
No.
They gotta go,
That's an
man.
I
atmosphere.
think that's one of the things that I really like about this school is perspective is king over everything else. You guys really keep everything in perspective, and you guys always have a good attitude and a great outlook about whatever comes your way, and that's commendable. It really is.
and that's one of the things that I think that, you know, and talking to referees after games and everything else about how polite our kids are. How, you know, just they're a great group of kids that aren't going to go out there and they're not going to do anything that they shouldn't be doing. They're going to go out there and act like gentlemen as they're playing, even though they're trying to knock the other guy on their can.
Right.
They're going to do it in a gentlemanly way, and that's one of the things that that I love about working with these kids.
Now, summer flew. You got a football game Friday night.
Oh, don't you know?
We're getting there.
Charlie called me up, Charlie Brown, the AD, and he said, "Hey, I got your preseason game," and I said, "Oh yeah?" Yeah, he said, "Jupiter Christian." I said, "What?"
Now they come here, correct?
They're coming here.
And you guys kick off at 5:30.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
You know, he tried to caveat that, but with Coach Powell's down there, they're going to be a well-coached team, they're gonna be disciplined, and they're gonna bring it.
Yes, sir.
And, that's, we're just gonna be here and try to do the same thing.
Well, one of the things you got is, like, you have all these character guys, so
Mhm.
that's what you need to start up a program. But what started it 2 years ago? How did this program get birthed? Was it the kids involved, or some parents, or how did it all come about?
I don't know if you remember Don Weston
Yes,
or
sir.
not. Don was the AD, and my daughter goes to school there at Masters Academy, and I've met Don on a couple of different occasions, and he asked me if I would be willing to get involved with the feasibility study. So we looked around and see what it would take and what we needed. And Robin's been trying to get a program here for 12.
Well, I've got one that's already graduated from here. I got one that's in the 11th grade this year. I wanted both of them to have the opportunity. Unfortunately, the one never had that opportunity to play here. I started most of the sports programs here, starting with that 6th grade class that graduated last year.
Right.
So started the soccer was the first thing that we started when they were in 6th grade at middle school, and I've coached soccer, I've coached flag football, coached a lot of different sports here. But it's been a dream of mine since the school started. It was one of the first things that I had said to Dr. Powell when I started my first son here in kindergarten was, I want to make sure that we have sports, because it was such a big part of my upbringing. And as it came around, I got the phone call when my son hit 6th grade, hey, we want to start soccer. And I said, great. And he goes, we need a coach. And I said, all right, I'll come do it. And ever since then, it's been just a continuous ball of rolling downhill. We're continuously just keep adding more and more sports here. And football, to me, is the ultimate for the school. I think it's going to be a great building block for the school to be able to continue to grow into the future, just by keeping our kids here and active at school. It is something that just brings together. Football is one of those things that brings together the school and the community around you, and I think that's very important for the school. And it's just, I think it's a love for a lot of us. We wouldn't be out here doing it, I don't think, if we didn't love the sport. So.
Absolutely, and like you said, it brings together people of all ages, people of all cultures. Football is just that sport that brings people together. So, I mean, with that being said, what's the goal of the second season?
Goal of second season.
Have enough players to finish?
Yeah, that's one goal. Just keep pressing. Just keep pressing. Wins, they'll come.
Yes, sir.
They'll come. But we just need to maintain the character that we've been working on, the development of players. If we can come out and have a good year, we'll get more people. One of the things that's happened is, I look at a lot of kids that have gone to other schools from here, and I think about, dang it, he was only here, But it's just that simple. The school, if we can get the program rolling, it'll come.
Right.
It'll come, and guys like Danny Pennell, Zach Miller, Zach Inshow, the Martinelli boys, Jonathan Vendors. I can't leave any of them out.
No.
Each one of the kids works hard. They make the mark. They bring something to our team, and they pick each other up. And that's the big thing. Yeah, it's just maintaining that balance. That's everything else will come.
Easier said than done.
It is, but I'll jump right in and agree with you real quick. But we've got to take it one day at a time, and I've been really blessed. I mean, not only given this opportunity, the support that I've received here has been tremendous. The support I've received from the staff at Vero Beach High School, Sebastian High School, St. Edwards has helped.
I got 2 pairs of pants on too.
It's better than wearing none.
I just came to football practice myself.
Yeah,
So.
but see, that's where it is, and it's a community. I think, like I said earlier, I'm just honored to be considered in that same class of coaches that we have here. They're just tremendous men, and I look around and think, just a little old boy from Vero Beach, Florida, graduated, and look at me now.
Now, real quick before I let you go, has that new transfer rule helped or hurt you at all, or and opened the door to homeschool students? That
Well,
help you out.
we've got about a third of our team's homeschool students already, and so that has been good. Haven't heard any. Nobody's been burning our bridges, tearing down the doors to get here, but
Right.
maybe they'll be here next year. But the thing is we have an opportunity here for a lot of kids that wouldn't be able to play any place else, and you know, if they can meet the requirements, be a participant in Masters Academy, I'll take anybody. You know, I just, I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not recruiting anyone,
Right.
but what I'm saying is this is a tough school, especially if you're going here as a student.
Right.
It's the vigor of the program. A lot of people like rigor, but that sounds like rigor mortis, and that's not it. These guys are being taught to think and defend themselves in today's world with their thoughts and their ideas, and that's just tremendous. I think Dr. Powell has done a great job here. Like I said, my daughter goes to school here. She's been here since kindergarten. I've got 2 granddaughters, and eventually I hope to have them here. It's just this is my church home also, First Church of God. So this has been a program that I've watched. I was married in this church, so you know,
Way back.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm right there with you. I've
Yeah.
already got a granddaughter here, so.
Yeah. and that's what we're trying to do, you know?
We have the self-government taught
Yeah.
here in the school, in the classroom. You guys are teaching that outside of football, and that's why you see all these kids. You just know the products that are coming out of here are just fantastic kids. So I'm really glad to see that you guys have a football team, so the kids have an opportunity for that and that camaraderie to play in that kind of sport. I think it's fantastic.
How many games are on the schedule?
Well, if you count the playoff game, 9.
9 games.
Yeah,
on the schedule.
we had 10 but one school dropped out, and I would have to look at my schedule to remember who it is. I can't remember, but we start out against Jupiter Christian, then we go over to Brandon. Oh, we're Road Warriors first.
Yeah, Sefner Christian, I think, is
yeah.
our first game on the 31st, I guess.
Yep.
Yep.
How many home games do you have?
We've got 4, and
4.
then we'll pick up next year. Everybody will be coming. We do have one good away game down in Miami. Oh yeah, I'm hoping that the Canes are out that day in the FA, because I really don't want to take anything away from their game.
And that's a Saturday afternoon game
Yeah.
for us, so.
It's a 4 o'clock game, but they came up here last year, and so we're going down there this year.
Good.
And it's that's going to be an experience.
That'd be a fun little road trip, huh?
Yeah, good for
Oh,
you.
I can remember going down to play in a playoff game down there when I was coaching Sebastian. And that's a long old bus ride.
It's a long
I
run.
remember going down there as a player, you know, and for the players, it's a long ride too.
Yeah,
so.
So are you in a conference or?
Yes, we're in a
Sunshine State.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
and it's well, Bill Mata
Yes.
said worst mistake he ever made was getting out of that conference.
Yeah.
And Lou mentioned to me we should look into getting into it last year, and so this year we're there. And I just hope that we can be good representatives. I hope that we can show pride and determination throughout the season and represent Masters Academy to the standard that they're used to being supported. If you take a look at the sports programs that are here, I mean, everybody has got championships out, so we've got to do something.
Gotta get to work.
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate your time. Hey,
Well,
hats off to you for building this program,
Oh,
guys.
thank you.
Thank you
And
very
good
much.
luck to your
Appreciate it.
second year.
No,
Thank you
thanks a
very much.
lot.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, Mr. Stage. All right, you're back right here on the sideline. News Radio 1490 WTTB. We're at Masters Academy talking football. We've got young Jeffrey Stay with us and Zach Yincho. Again, we're at Masters Academy, the Patriots.
Yeah.
So your second season.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking forward to, and what did you learn from last season, Jeff?
Really, we're just looking forward to going out there and doing the same thing, man. Giving everything we have, and playing with everything we have, and I don't know, just getting out there and knocking with the boys.
There you go. Now, before last year, have you played any tackle football before
I
that?
had not.
So last year was your first time in pads,
Yep.
getting knocked around a little bit.
Yeah.
What position did you play last year?
I was playing mainly quarterback, and they had me out on the corner.
Okay. Which one do you like better?
Definitely more of a quarterback.
So walk me through your first year. It was definitely a learning experience.
Oh,
correct?
absolutely. The first year we were just really, a lot of guys were just learning how to play, learning their positions, and really just learning the game. With me, I definitely had to invest my knowledge of it because obviously I don't have a lot of it.
Right.
And that was a lot of, during the fall and the winter and then during the spring, that was a lot of what we were working on. It was just knowing the game better and working on that, the mental side.
I tell you, it was fun to watch last year. Not to say that you guys lost or anything watching that. I don't want to say that, but it was
I
fun
see
to
how
watch
it
you
is.
guys to come together as a team.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you were the only one that's never played football before.
Oh, no, definitely not.
So it was very interesting to see that. I thought you guys did really well. And
Yeah.
toward the end of the year, talking with your coach there against Sebastian, your last game, you guys looked like a football team out
Absolutely.
there. And to march down, walk me through that touchdown.
Really, it was even a broken play because our tight end was supposed to come out in the flat and then wide open, dump it out to him, and he got hung up, and I just had to go in with it, and that's how it worked out.
Oh man,
It was good.
how'd it feel?
It was good. It was kind of me being the competitive guy. I'm like, oh man, we lost. And I turn around, there's all kinds of people screaming and jumping around. I'm just like, all right, okay, woo-hoo. Yeah, exactly. It was good though. It was definitely a good thing to be around.
That's great. Zach, now what positions do you play?
I played linebacker and offensive line.
Okay. Now, had you played football before last year?
I had
So you were one of the few.
one of the very few.
Now, with that being said, you kind of take a leadership role, take some guys under your wing, kind of show them how to play a little bit, say,
A little bit.
encouragement, of course, right?
A little bit more on the hitting side than
Right.
anything.
Now, what's your favorite side of the ball?
Most definitely defense.
Nah,
I'm a
that's what I'm
defensive
talking
man.
Yeah? You like putting the hit on, not getting hit.
I do.
What are you looking forward to most this season?
I'm looking forward to going out, having fun with the boys, growing together more as a team, and just going out there and hitting with the brothers.
Yeah, bring it together. You got a game Friday, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
You looking forward to it?
It'll be good. Hopefully get some people out and get a big crowd. No, not a big crowd. We're gonna bring as many people as we can and just get out there and have fun with
Now,
it.
how nice will it be to be able to hit somebody else other than each other?
Oh, hell, it'll be good. It'll be good hitting somebody other than this kid because he hits back a lot. So it'll be good.
Oh well, I saw some of the baseball games this year. You guys put together a good team this year. When do you see that success translating on into football and seeing the football program kind of develop like that as well? I mean, is that a few years off, or you
Yeah,
guys
I
have
mean,
any this year?
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be here after this year, but I see a lot of guys who, like Zach here, and the guys who are going to take over is being out there being the leaders and stuff. I mean, those guys they're gonna take it somewhere. Hopefully, they'll get a lot more guys out here working and practicing with everybody, and when they get the numbers, I think that's when you're going to see a lot of stuff take off. More guys that have played a little bit longer, and that was the big thing, is not having the experience. But I think when they get that, Coach Smith and Coach Hencho, they're gonna take it somewhere.
All right, yeah, the
You're
best,
itching over there, Zach. What do you got to say?
I think we have a chance to go a little bit this year. Maybe not go all the way, but we'll definitely push a little bit more this year than we did last year.
That's great. Great confidence. You got to have that in this game.
Absolutely.
well, the stuff we saw in the games last year and in the spring game is you guys leave everything on the field. Like, you guys were exhausted at the end playing the Ironman, but nobody held anything back.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though you're losing, people still never quit and fought the whole time. So I think that's just to you guys, just as a unit. And that's the other thing. I see you guys building each other up.
Yeah.
When you get those losses, it's kind of easy to start pointing fingers and yelling at people, but there's not. It's just a lot of keep coaching each other up and building each other up. I think that's great. Now, who's the players you think have really made the big strides since the spring and from the spring through now?
Yeah.
Who's really stepped it up?
I would say, unfortunately, the guy that we just lost, James Savoy, who had been getting a lot better. You'd seen him, just blowing people apart. He would magically go from, I don't want to hit, to putting people on their backs. That was the guy who, unfortunately, we're not going to have him in the first couple of games, but he had been making big strides. Noah Littleton, who is going to be our starting center this year, has made a lot of strides, has been hitting really, really well. Jonathan Vendry's coach talked about. He is starting to really turn into it, really blocking well and getting through the line very well on defense. and those guys have really been doing well.
Now, being a quarterback, that's a leadership role.
Yeah.
Was it easy to take that over?
A little bit. At the beginning of the year last year, I didn't start as quarterback. I was out of town for an engagement I had before that, so I didn't get to start.
Right.
So I had to kind of take the role back. We had to come in and it just started working. I kind of naturally like to lead a little bit and encourage people, and that's what I'm kind of good at. But we've just been working really hard with it, and with the guys here, it's not exactly the hardest people to lead. You tell them go, and they're just going, man. They give everything they can, and that's really a good thing for me.
Well, let's take a look at from the defensive side of the ball. I know you play both ways, but defense is your passion. How you guys gonna look over there, Zach?
Over there, we've always had a pretty decent defense, but we've always let a few plays slip in the games. But we'll have a good defense this year. We'll get it set up. We'll probably have a few slips, but what teams don't?
Right.
All teams have a few slip-ups. Everyone will go out there. We'll all give our all out there. We give 100% going both ways because we don't got the numbers to just go one way. But we'll give 100% no matter what, and we'll make some stops, most definitely.
And with this guy being one of the leaders on defense, there won't be a lot of slips. You won't allow that.
Yeah, what are your goals as a team and then as an individual for this upcoming season?
I would say for me, I would love to be here for the first one with the program for Coach Smith. I would love to be able to be in that, and really my goal would be just to go as hard as we can. I mean, when you go on the field, you want to win every game you play in. I mean, that's the goal. Coach always says, let's have fun. I have fun winning. That's just how I am. But that's the goal is just to go out there and give everything we have. And you guys, you've talked about the character of the guys that are giving as much as they can every time. And that just speaks to the character of these guys in the school and everybody around us. Like that's just how this stuff is done here. I mean, everything from the school to the football team. I mean, we're in a classroom right now and we've used it kind of as a locker room. And that's just that's how the school works, and that's how it's been going. So hopefully we'll just get out there and work as hard as we can, get the wins in, and that's going to be a result of the hard work that we have, and we'll be good.
That's the right way to take it. What do you think, Zach?
I think as a team, my main goal this year is to just grow as much as a team as we can together, because what's football other than being a family with each other, and just grow as much as a family as we can this year. I mean, yes, we'll lose a few very important people this next year, but if we grow better as a team this year, I think we'll have a lot better chance next year.
Well said, well said. The one thing I do take from you guys is we've asked you for individual goals, we've asked you for this and that, and you go right back to team. And I think when you guys sit to that, and I think your coaches are doing a great job setting that example. I don't think you guys are going to be anybody they can take for granted.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that, and I'm looking forward to watching you guys play.
Zach, you come from a long line of fighting Indians. Tell me, did your dad or uncle ever tell you any Billy Living stories or talk about those great runs they had, with Vero? And can you translate that over to some knowledge you can kind of give to your teammates, or is that really not that big of a deal?
I've heard a lot of stories of my parents and my grandparents playing sports and all that over at Vero, but I try to keep my parents more out of the encouraging side of my teammates. He's a coach over there, he does his own encouraging.
Right.
I use my own stories of my years in football to help my teammates, because it's something more that they can achieve, not something that none of us has seen happen before,
Gotcha.
But it's something that I've seen happen before in real life.
And besides, when he played, they only had like one bar around the helmet.
Well, good guys, thanks for stopping by. One more big thing. What are you looking forward to the most out of your second season here?
I mean, you said it, going back to the team, just the camaraderie with the guys and just being out there with them. Just working hard in that first Friday night, getting out there and defending the home field.
Terrific. Zach?
Most definitely just going out and having fun with the boys, because that's all we can do out here. We give it all no matter what. We can't ask anything more than to have fun.
That's great. Guys, good luck to a great season. I look forward to watching you play. Thanks for joining us today.
Guys.
Thanks, sir.
Are you a Patriot fan? Are you walking the way of the Lord? You got to tune in at 1490 WTTB every Monday through Friday, 7 8 a.m. Find out more about these Patriots.